always heard that these folks in the Bowzone are mighty particular about outsiders coming in, but we're doing it anyway. Welcome to this week's episode of Bowzone Live.
In the Edmonton Bowzone, hunting season just started, and I just smoked a giant. Welcome to Bowzone Live.
Annihilator Broadheads and Scorpion Outdoors present Bowzone Live. Brought to you by Annihilator Broadheads, Scorpion Outdoors, PV Mart, Bronc Beer, Easton, Hoyt Archery, Hex, OK Tire, River Cree Resort and Casino, and Tacticam.
Welcome to Bowzone Live right here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola alongside Heather Wilson in studio. Great to have you in studio. I know you co-hosted last year, Heather. That was via Zoom because that was the time of COVID. But here you are in studio because somebody tagged out, even though we're getting late in the season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Give us a taste of what you went through on Tuesday.
Well, Tuesday started out like any other day. Get up early, get into the tree stand. And the temperature wasn't terrible in the morning. It was kind of nice.
Right.
I heard from the guys on the chat that they were rattling in bucks, which was perfect. And so that gave me something to do, and I like to rattle, and they were being responsive. So I had a few bucks show up after rattling, and then my buck decided to come in about 5 minutes after I did one set of rattling.
This buck, did you have a history with by any chance?
No, I actually don't really recognize that buck. I don't have footage of him, but he came in fairly quick. And so I got a side profile of him and I saw that he had good mass. I didn't know how wide he was, and he had height. And his body size was big. So to me, that was a sign of a more mature deer. And I just decided that I was going to shoot him.
Go on instincts. We're going to also catch up today, Heather, after we see your footage, which is tremendous, by the way. We're going to touch base with Keith McDonald, fan favorite, always animated. Haven't heard much from him to this point. What can you tell us about Keith? Well, there he is.
He is animated, like you said.
Yeah.
He's always got a good story. He's a good guy to hang out with, and he knows deer.
Absolutely, he does. By the way, one of the things that's come up, and we saw it this morning, we saw it this week, is the fluctuations in the weather. How has that been for you guys out there when you're going out to the stands?
Well, it started out with it being brown on brown. It's hard to see the deer. And then when we got snow, it was nice because you could see the movement. But it also makes it quiet, so it's kind of a twofer. You can see them better, but you can't hear them. And then once it starts to freeze, we like that first crunch because the crunch actually makes it so you can hear the deer.
Right. Really cold yesterday too. As we take a look at your husband Kevin, I know he's pretty tough, but I think, is that a hand warmer on his nose?
That's definitely a hand warmer. They were joking that he needed some tape so they could just tape it on there.
Oh, poor guy. We're going to catch up with Kevin a little bit later on some exciting news from Kev today. We'll also find out a little bit more about that interesting character at the start of today's show that we saw teasing things. And then one more thing about the weather is today, Heather, some really scary conditions out there affected our own hunter, Mike Bichon.
Yeah, but Mike actually, to avoid hitting another vehicle, went into the ditch. So he was very lucky that he didn't actually have an accident, but the conditions were very slick.
Good thing that he's safe, everyone's okay, and we've got a great show on the way for you. We're going to see Heather's buck coming up shortly, but first, let's take a look at the Bowzone Live and Wild TV app. You can watch every episode of Bowzone Live on the app. The Wild TV app is fully loaded with all your favorite content. You can search by animal, species, search by province, and all the giant bucks will be there, as well as this show, Bowzone Live, of course. Get the app at Wild TV Plus or the App Store. Welcome back to Bowzone Live. Tom Gazzola with Heather Wilson here in studio, my co-host, and that's because you tagged out. Heather, very proud, very happy about that 2 years in a row. Did you know Tuesday felt like it might be your day?
Well, I knew the second estrus had started, so I knew that the bucks would be moving and chasing does again, which makes the odds a little better because the bucks get a little dumb. It gives you a little edge.
That's a nice way to put it. And you had the lucky fingernails. I know we talked about it last
definitely
year.
had the lucky fingernails, put antlers on them, and I think that just gave me the edge.
That's the magic trick right there. Let's take a look at Heather's hunt from the other day.
Well, it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This morning started out really cold. And then as the days progressed, it's warmed up. And we've seen a little bit more deer just walking around. Had probably 2 does, maybe 3 does, and a couple smaller bucks. One other decent buck that went to the scrape. I opened up my mock scrape this morning because it had snowed yesterday, so I put a little more estrus, doe estrus in it. So here's a little trick. If you don't want your boots squeaking on stand, get a little piece of underlay or carpet. I'm pretty sure Daryl actually told me this one, and it works really well. And that way when you turn or move, your boots don't squeak on the cold stand. Works really well. This morning started out really cold. It was minus 12, but it felt like minus 18. And had a little bit of action with a couple does, a couple bucks that came through. But I just saw Jans up the hill for about a half hour ago. And I bleated, and then I grunted and he stopped and he looked back. But then he kept going, so I'm hoping that he's going to circle back and come back. The question is just where he's going to show up, so hopefully I'll see him first. And I guess we'll see. Really hoping he comes back. I just shot a buck. Well, that just happened really fast. He came from my right, unannounced. I didn't get him on camera. I didn't get the kill on camera, but I was looking left, and I was able to get to a standing position, but I didn't get the camera on. He walked right there. I shot him right there. About 22 yards. Oh, I'm pretty excited. And I'm pretty sure I heard him go down. I think he's about 60 yards to my left. I'm so excited. Oh, I just shot a buck. This is pretty cool. Oh, yes! I just shot a buck. Today's a good day. So I'm just gonna wait about 30 minutes and then I'm gonna get down just to make sure, and we'll start following the blood trail. But I know I made a really good hit. I saw the arrow come out the other side, and he did a nice bucking motion, which usually means it's a good hit, so can't wait. So there's my arrow. That tip's broken off. There's blood on the end of that. my axis, my Easton. One of the blades is broken off. There he is. There he is. He's buried in the snow, but there he is. Well, I'm super excited I shot my buck. And I'm just on my way back to meet Kev, and he's gonna come help me. And maybe we'll get some decent pictures, because of course I was doing blood trail and stuff, but it's really hard to do by yourself. There's my buck, 4x4. It's so beautiful out here right now. Peaceful, and I'm very excited. I got my buck. Whew. Well, here he is. I rattled him in this morning. He came in about 5 minutes after I rattled, and I saw the mass and I just knew he was the one for me. Kev came to help me pull it out because he's too heavy for me. So Kev, come here. Come hang out.
Glad to. What a nice buck.
Well, he came to 25 yards and I shot him and he only went 60, so it's perfect.
Oh, his mass is amazing.
Oh yeah, his base, he's got big base, he's got a little bit of junk coming off the bottom.
Pretty hard to pass up a buck like that.
Oh, he's gorgeous. He's a beautiful buck.
Yeah. Folks, we have to say thank you to some of our partners, because honestly, you know, the equipment we use, the clothing we wear, it really wouldn't be possible to do the stuff we do without this gear. The Whitetail Fanatic, what do you think, sitting in the cold?
Oh, you know what? Truthfully, I haven't been cold. It blocks the wind and it's quiet, especially for drawing when you're moving with the bucks right underneath you.
And what about your Hoyt RX5?
Deadly accurate.
You know, I'm shooting the RX5 this year as well. It is incredible. It's one of the most accurate bows I've ever shot. Easton Arrows, you know, Heather and I actually partner ourselves with Swarovski Optic. You know, again, just great stuff.
And we're trying out the hex gear this year, and I've had a lot of deer under me and they haven't busted, so that's a good sign.
For sure. Another great deer right here on Bowzone Live.
Well, a little bit of lady luck. The nails worked again this year.
Heather, you're 2 for 2 on Bowzone Live. Well done. Beautiful buck there, indeed. Listen, you were talking while we were watching that segment. You were saying, you know what? I didn't get the kill shot on camera. But when you're in that moment, how tough is it when you're trying to process, well, you got this buck right in your lane, and then you want to get the camera going? How do you break it all down?
If you have time, it's a little easier, but my buck came in really fast.
Okay.
My camera was actually put into the right spot, and it's exactly where I shot him. I just did not get a chance to put the camera, like turn it on. Gunther said it best last week, I think. Once you get that bow in hand, you pretty much, your focus shifts and you just go into that, that zone, and I definitely went into the zone. After I shot, I actually went to move the camera, and I went to move it to follow him, and then I realized the camera wasn't on. So that's the truth of it right there. That tells you where your focus goes.
Still great footage. Yeah. Congratulations. A job well done. By the way, we saw Kev there chasing Myron, and we actually have some footage of Myron. What can you tell us about Myron? Because you've seen this beautiful buck as well.
Oh, I think Kev's been dreaming about this buck for the last month. We had him as a target buck even last year, but he went for splits, and splits was an incredible deer as well. But Myron this year is incredible, 4x4, as big as 4x4s can get pretty much. He's gorgeous, and his coat is beautiful. He's just a really nice deer. I don't know what else to say about him.
Well, you know what? Leave it at that, because we'll see if Myron and Kevin met up today. By the way, we do have Keith McDonald coming up as well. It'll be great to touch base with him. He's standing by, as we have plenty more Bowzone Live for you right here on Wild TV with Heather Wilson in studio. You're watching Bowzone Live right here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola alongside Heather Wilson on today's episode, and time in to bring this gentleman, Keith McDonald. Keith, great to see you, pal. It's been a while. What have you been up to?
Putting in the time, following a big deer, trying to get on him. The snow messed me up a little bit, and of course, he's doing what he wants to do. He's not doing what I want him to do. So I'm just moving in, getting tighter. I think I'm honed in on him. I'm just waiting for the right wind to move into my new stand, and I think I'm going to let the air out of that guy here in the next 48 hours.
We're rooting for you. It's your turn.
Any close calls with him, Keith, with your shooter yet?
Well, so the sets I had on him there, I had does feeding in front of a couple sets. And then when we got that snow, I was set up on the east side of a field, so the snow drifted up against there, and so all of the deer shifted 300 yards over to the opposite side of the field. So I stayed in that stand for a few days, just watching, seeing what they're doing, and then yesterday I moved in, set up a new set in there, set a ground blind and a tree stand. So as soon as the wind's good, I'm getting in that tree stand. There's a big scrape there. It's got to be 5 feet by 5 feet. And when I was sitting in my stand across the field watching, I see every buck ran into that thicket and ran back out, ran in, ran out. So that's where I went and checked. Sure enough, brand new scrape popped up there that was as big as the hood of an old Buick.
Hey, Keith, we know that you've had some luck, but it wasn't in the Bowzone, so you have been busy. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I got some good buddies over in Saskatchewan. They're Blue Thunder Outfitters. They invited me and Ryan if we wanted to come and have a little hunt over there. And I was looking for some meat, so it was a good opportunity. I never hunted over a bait in my life, so I thought I'd check it out. We went over there. They got the baits going. Me and Ryan set a few tree stands, set up a couple pop-up blinds. I got in the morning at maybe 7 o'clock. And by 10:30, I had a buck on the ground. It was pretty good.
Let's see that footage.
Okay, so today I'm heading back in here. I have a tree stand in here there's a couple primary scrapes, a little rub line that comes around a natural clearing in the woods. And this is one of the major corridors they come through, and there's always been a primary scrape there for the last, as long as I remember, 15, 20 years. So I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna freshen up that scrape, set a camera, and just tweak my stand and make sure I'm ready for this November Bowzone Live. Strong stuff.
This is where we're going to enter into this stand. We don't want to totally open it up, but we want to kind of have it so you're not making a ton of noise when you're walking into your stand in the middle of the dark.
So we're clearing in the trail in here because there's no access to this area. It's actually a perfect spot for big bucks. 3/4 of it is woods, and there's actually no trails in there, no walking trails. It's a marsh in the middle. Perfect big buck haven. So we're going to go and make sure that the stand, trim all the new lanes here, give it a knife, and give it 6 weeks to settle down for November. Come back in, and hopefully in November we can run across a giant in here.
Day before Bowzone Live starts, I'm pumped. I can't wait. I'm waiting for the last week. I went to one hunt in Saskatchewan. Me and Ryan went and checked it out over there.
I just smoked a big, tall, giant 8-point here in Saskatchewan at Blue Thunder Outfitters.
Woo! Yes! Yes!
So now tomorrow morning is the first day for me going to be recording for Bowzone Live. I got my Hex gear all ready to go right here, down here. This is just kind of where I keep my stuff, my broadheads, whatever, my scent killer, everything. Got my Tacticam recorder, the charger's there, all my Tacticam gear. The deer that I'm trying to get on is absolute 7-year-old Alberta giant. So I'm going to stay out all day tomorrow, sit in the stand all day.
So I'm taking Louie over to the ranch this afternoon.
Going to the ranch.
So this morning I was in there, there's a hot doe. I seen 7 bucks altogether. So I'm gonna put Louie right in there. You ready, Louie?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's get him.
Okay, let's
All
go.
right.
Tee it up. Keith, fantastic stuff as usual. Great footage. Heather, anything hunter to hunter you'd like to chat with Keith about?
So Keith, there's 5 days left in the season. What's your game plan moving forward?
Well, like I said, I think I'm pretty close to making it happen here. Actually, it was a funny thing happened today. I was sitting in my blind and I have my nephew. I don't know if you could hear, but you could hear the trucks. I'm really close to a highway there. So my nephew's driving by and he texts me a picture and he says, "Your buck is breeding a doe on your upper Georgia." And he sent me the picture. And so where I'm sitting is kind of in a little depression, a couple scrapes there. I can't see. I can only see 100 yards around me. I don't know what's going on in the field, and there's always 7, 8 deer in there. I don't know. I'm waiting for him to come in, and then he sends me that text, and I'm like, yeah. So I put on the text. I'm like, I put that picture on there, and I said, "You guys think I could grunt this guy off of her?" I don't think it was gonna happen.
Keith, we saw you with Louie there. Anything going on with Louie? Are you pulling him away from the broadcast, or what's going on?
Well, I guess the Oilers are more important than these Whitetails right now, so we're going to have to let Louie do his job. But he texted me today he's going to be free for the last 3 days of season. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, he's going to be going hard. He'll probably be sitting all day. I got me and him set that one set together this year, and that's kind of, I call that Louie set. So he's the only one who knows how to get in there besides me, so he can go sit there all day.
All right, hopefully that breeds some success. Keith, great to catch up with you. Always great to see you as well. We'll see more Keith McDonald as we go on throughout Bowzone Live. By the way, Heather, we're going to catch up with Kevin in the field. A big, exciting day for Kevin Wilson, of course, Heather's husband. So we'll touch base with him coming up.
Annihilator Broadheads and Scorpion Outdoors present Bowzone Live. Brought to you by Annihilator Broadheads, Scorpion Outdoors, PV Mart, Bronc Beer, Easton, Hoyt Archery, Hex, OK Tire, River Cree Resort and Casino, and Tacticam.
We're very close.
Well, welcome back to Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola with Heather Wilson, and we're chatting because something's going on out in the field right now, Heather. Your husband, Kevin, we've got something. We've got something. There's Ryan Kohler. Ryan, what are we looking at right now? Is that Kev back there? Hello. What's going on, guys?
Hey. Yeah, I'm just, we're just in the Bowzone right now. We're just doing a recovery for Kevin Wilson. He shot his target buck. And it's so awesome out here right now. It's +6 or something, and there's Kevin.
Hey, everyone.
That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you.
Kev, honestly, I think Heather's just as excited as when she got her buck on Tuesday.
Thanks,
Tell
man.
us about
No,
what
it's
happened
easy.
today, Kevin, and how you were able to cross paths with Myron, because we saw him earlier in the show.
Yeah, you know, it was a really slow day, to be honest. Sorry, talk louder. Sorry, it was a really slow day. I saw one little buck in the morning and 3 does, and that was it all day. And then about 15 minutes before dark, I essentially just doe bleated, grunted, and a doe came running in. But she stopped about 20 yards away, and she waited 10 minutes. And then finally she moved a little bit, and I thought, oh, here we go. And I heard a grunt. And it was him, and he stepped out behind the tree. I couldn't get the camera on. I was busted because there was no way to get the camera on. Anyway, 18-yard shot, let him have it, right through everything, big circle, 45 yards, he piled up, done like dinner.
You were so excited when I got that phone call. I knew it was like, I think like 4:45 or something is when I got the call, and I thought, it's legal light still. Like, he had to have shot something. I was so excited.
You and me both.
Well, we're doing so many firsts on Bowzone Live. I think this is the first time we've been down with an animal live. This is pretty amazing.
Yeah. And Kevin, tell him about the last 2 days, because you had him at full draw twice.
It's been a whirlwind the last few days. There's actually a buck called Torch that we call Torch. He's considerably larger, but you know what? He was a target buck, but we weren't seeing him. So this guy shows up 4 days ago now. Got him on camera. I didn't tell the team this. I'm going to tell you now. But the bottom line is, I got out of the stand for an hour to go check a trail camera midday.
It's true.
Get back in the tree stand. I checked the card later. This guy Myron showed up right when I was gone. Typical, right? Next day I had an encounter with him. Had him at 18 yards. Rattled him in. Same thing. But the tree is angled above my head, and he went right behind the tree. I couldn't get a shot. He took off. Next day he comes back, and good bucks don't typically show up and do the same thing every day. The third day I get him again, and I have him on the scrape at 27 yards. And same thing, Doe busts me, and he takes off. It just was, everything went wrong. Well, tonight it happened.
I called it. I told you this morning you were going to get Myron.
It happened.
Is that Daryl back there too?
Absolutely. I'm back now. How you guys doing?
There he is. I love the team effort, Heather, is fantastic, isn't it? The camaraderie, we talked about it the other day. Great to see Daryl leg back in the field with Ryan Kohler and Kevin Wilson. Ryan, really quickly, give us your take on this buck, Myron.
Free screen.
Did we get a free screen?
Nope, there we go.
Well, it's an awesome, mature buck that he's been after the whole time. So how do you, I mean, he's tickled pink. He's super happy with it. And it's a great deer, right? It's an old, heavy 4x4 with dark antlers. Who doesn't like seeing that walk through the trees? And he made an amazing shot on the animal. Just a perfect kill shot.
Perfect. Yeah, you know, that's one of the things is bow hunters run in a circle and die within 40 yards. That's just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Kev, congratulations. Great to see all you guys in the field. Thanks for hopping on tonight. I know it's super exciting. Heather's pumped up. I'm pumped up. We're all pumped up. We're going to get the full story on Saturday. Great to see Kevin get that buck.
That
Myron,
was amazing.
Beautiful. I know we teased it. We knew he was. he had him. Kevin, absolute pros. So tremendous stuff there. Plenty of Bowzone Live coming up after this. Welcome back to Bowzone Live. Great to see Kevin Wilson tag out. Heather, you were pumped up. I was pumped up. That was fantastic.
He deserved that, deer. He's been working hard for it.
Another guy that worked hard for his buck that we saw last week was Ryan Kohler. He's still working hard over in Strathcona. Are you surprised he's still going until,
No. Most hardcore bow hunters are out there right to the end of the season. If they have a tag in their pocket, they're still out in the stand.
Ryan Kohler's one of those guys. Let's take a look at his footage.
Okay, I'm in my garage, just starting to film for Bowzone Live. Pretty excited to get back at it. I'm going to hunt Strathcona County, so it's an area that's east of Edmonton, and they have a second buck tag there. Jason Moss was kind enough to give me basically help me get into a spot. They're so hard to get over there, just like they are here. So Zach and I put up a stand, I think about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half ago now, and we've left it, haven't been there since. I'm going to start hunting it soon here, so I haven't done the double in many, many years, so it'd be kind of fun to try to do it. It's usually pretty tough to do, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway, and hope you enjoy a little bit of footage from me in Strathcona County and Bowzone Live.
Just had my first Strathcona County buck come by, and just a little tiny buck. He came right in front of me at 20 yards, then he hit my wind, and he was like, whoa. Something stinks up there. Pretty cool. Bowzone that much. So this is kind of nice. The snow is so quiet, I can't hear anything. But I can't wait to crack a juice box. Stay tuned for juice boxes. And hopefully, a Strathcona County buck. Okay, I just had lunch. And you know what time it is? That's right. It's time for my juice box, baby. Oh yeah. Last night I got pinned in here by 4 does. I didn't see a buck. I'm running my hex suit this morning. Hopefully it works. I'm in real tight area, and here's the deer gonna come by me real close. But I'm really concealed well. There's a lot of trees around me I can move, and there's a little bit of wind, so I'll get away with a little more. On video, and a buck comes screaming in. He came in so fast. He was underneath my tree. No joke. I mean, I couldn't do anything. If I was trying to just shoot him, I probably could have just shot him, but I'm trying to video at the same time. Anyway, yeah, he was there for a few minutes. I got a little glimpse of him kind of going away. Just kind of a cool buck. So, make sure that if you're gonna rattle this time of year, make sure you're ready. I wasn't ready at all. And I Strathcona buck anyway, that's for sure. Just a little heavy little 4, but it would have been a great video. Cheers. Grape is definitely the best flavor. Holy smokes. Mark this day in your calendars. So far today, the Bowzone Live crew have rattled in 4 bucks. I rattled in 2 this morning. Mike rattled in 1 at the same time I did. And then like an hour later, Kevin Wilson rattles in Myron, the giant he's after. He couldn't get a shot, but my God, it's a rattle day. Dang it, Kevin. He didn't get him, but he almost did. I hope he comes back for you, Kevin. I hope you smack him.
There's my quiet cat loaded. Not sure if you can see it, but that's how I get in and out. So today I saw 5 bucks, 3 does. It was awesome. Almost killed that nice buck. And that's how I get it in. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to get in and out like this. The quiet cat's awesome. So yeah, 5 bucks. I couldn't film the last buck at the end of the night. Another 4 white horn buck. Came in with 3 does and then just went right out of my stand, right to the field. Anyway, my hands are frozen, but that was fun. Whew.
Good stuff there from Ryan Kohler with his juice boxes, of course, in the stand, as always, right? By the way, coming up, we'll find out who that masked man was during our intro earlier. The outsider, Heather. We'll find out who that was.
Definitely.
Right after this. You're watching Bowzone Live right here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola alongside Heather Wilson. Heather, it's been an action-packed show, great show. We teased the outsider at the start of the show in the intro. It's Steve Ecklund, right?
Yeah,
it's Steve Ecklund. He was just playing that up a little bit. Listen, maybe he's an outsider. Of course, he's the host of The Edge. An outsider to the Bowzone, but not an outsider to the hunting community around here.
He hunted a little bit last year, I think, but he's back for a few days just to see what he can do. And of course, we're going to razz him because he hasn't been there the whole time. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Put your money where your mouth is, Steve.
Oh, from one hunter to another. Let's see what Steve Ecklund's been up to.
I hunted 2 days in Strathcona County, but I had to come out today to help a friend. We're making Bowzone Live right now, so why not bring on another crew member? He's the silent killer, and he's never killed a Bowzone buck before. He has quite a collection of whitetails, but in my opinion, the hardest whitetail in the world to kill is the Bowzone whitetail. So, let's see if he can do it.
Hey, hi everybody.
You got a big truck.
Compensating.
Look how big his truck is. I can't even, the seat's at just below my shoulders, and I'm a big guy.
No, he's not. No, he's not. His truck's only 1.5 feet off the ground. But I did bring a stool if you want to get in it. Stand on this. Hi everybody, I'm Steve.
He's gonna kill his first Bowzone buck.
It's a West Side story, my own West Side story. I have to do this so Ryan will get off my back about killing one of the hardest whitetails in the whole world to kill right here, West Edmonton Bowzone.
Can he do it?
We're not sure, but I got a hell of a guide, and he wants it almost as bad as I do, so I'm in good shape.
The reason I'm excited is because there's a deer here that I've hunted for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. And I've just never been able to actually get here and hunt him when he was here. He comes at the end of the year. He usually comes in the last 2 or 3 days. But I got Steve right on top of him now. Look at these scrapes. Oh my God. Look at this communal. Oh, this is the one. Look at it. It's totally fresh. Like that happened like an hour ago. Yeah, that's perfect. Steve is basically on a windrow. There's a big food source behind him here. He's on this windrow. The deer are coming on the windrow. There's big scrapes on this side, or just on this, in this little area right here. So we've got the cell camera there, and then we're gonna put another cell camera on the other side of him. So if he gets a camera that goes off on this end, he'll know, and then the camera goes off on the other end, he'll know which way to look. Kind of cool. It's like a cabin in the woods, hey Steve?
That's it. Put my bedroll in there and be all set.
So this is the windrow, and that's where he's gonna sit. And they're using this windrow. They're not in the field behind me. They're in the field behind Steve on the other side of the fence, which he can't hunt on. So we're just gonna hope they come on this side and burn up and down this windrow, which they have been doing. Okay, I'm inside Steve's new home for the next 7 days. He's got himself set up in the field, which is
unorthodox.
A bit of a ballsy move. But I like it. I didn't like it at first, but now that we've got it in the field, he put it in like a little kind of a dip in the field, so it's not as easy to see. I thought put it high on the hill so you could see everywhere, but he's got it hidden in a little dip, which is really smart. He's got quite a bit more experience with the ground blinds than I do, but I'll tell you what, I'm getting into them. I love them, and I can't wait to use them next year. They're gonna be fun. So now he's looking at the windrow, and I'm sure you'll see lots of footage from Steve soon on Bowzone Live. That's the update from me. We got Steve Ecklund coming. He's gonna do very well. He's gonna kill his first Bowzone big monster buck. There's a giant 5x5 in here with a big drop tine and a couple other bucks with flyers and all kinds of stuff. A buck I call splits that if you watch How to Hunt, you've seen a whole show on him. We never did kill him. And yeah, I think he's gonna get it done. There it is. Steve has made an ice fishing hut in the middle of the field.
I don't often set up ground blinds, but when I do, they're kick-ass. I'm super pumped up, super grateful for the invite. Thank you, Ryan. And You know, I think the last time I seen that many deer tracks in one spot was probably late 80s. And so yeah, we did something unorthodox. We didn't hide a ground blind. We put the ground blind out in the middle of the field. But it's a good vantage point, and the theory behind it tonight is by the time the deer gets spooked, he'll already be dead. Outside of that, I have no idea what we're doing. Other than we have a very good vantage point right now, but we weren't real ninja with it. So again, one of these things, it's a learning lesson, right? It's either gonna work or it won't, and if it doesn't, then we know not to do that again. And we'll switch it up for tomorrow. But for right now, feeling pretty good, revved up, and ready to be a part of Bowzone Live. So thank you.
Welcome back to Bowzone Live here on Wild TV. Tom Gazzola with Heather Wilson. Heather, you've connected. Kevin connected. We saw that today. Yeah. Fantastic. Our hunters are out working hard. One guy we're all rooting for, Mike Bouchon. Tough start to his day in the ditch earlier, but he has gotten us a ton of good footage, so we're rooting for him. Let's find out what Mike's been up to.
I'm back after Daryl. I'm sitting what's called the inside corner. So it's just a corner of the field, but there's a pond to my right. I'm gonna sit here until lunchtime. The wind's supposed to shift, at which point I'm gonna get up and move around this and then go to this funnel stand just around the corner where I had a chance at Daryl the other day. So it's day 4. All day sit. Each day has progressively gotten better as far as what I'm seeing in action. So the next step really would be coming to full draw and having an opportunity. And we'll see what happens. Today might be the day. It is the 23rd. I sat a different spot this morning. I had a cool buck. He's got like just a big left, like 4-point beam on his one side. He came in. I gave him like a 15-yard broadside shot, but when he approached, I thought he was a bigger buck that had broken off his right side. So and honestly, he didn't get my heart racing. So I let him walk, got some cool video of him. It settled in, do some rattling, calling. It's a good spot for it. And yeah, I'm optimistic. You get an opportunity today. I'm hoping so.
Great footage there, Heather. You were just saying
that That was a really nice deer.
That was a really nice deer. Mike, we're rooting for you, buddy. Mike Bashan, hopefully he gets it done. What are you doing as soon as we wrap up this show? We saw Kevin with Myron. What's your game plan now?
I'm going to go meet him and just tell him how proud I am of him. He deserved that deer, and I'm just super proud.
Absolutely fantastic. You were great as a co-host today. Thank you so much, Heather.
Thank you.
Tremendous work as always. Big thank you to Heather Wilson. By the way, if you want to look back at what these amazing hunters have done and the amazing deer they've been able to harvest, get the Wild TV app. For Heather Wilson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying thanks for tuning in. Have a great night.